everybody, my dog mom here. So today, during our onboarding process, we are going to be giving the puppies their first latch. So in our previous video, I went over tracking their starting weights and then also using the collars to identify which puppy is which. Now we're going to go ahead and feed them for their first latch. So I have Khaleesi here. She is a new mother, and for those of you that don't know, Frenchies actually, a lot of them undergo C-section just because their shoulders are very broad. They have small hips, so the puppies can't fit through the canal. They usually get stuck. So that being said, Frenchies, they almost always go under C-section. So because they were delivered via C-section and not naturally, sometimes some mothers, they do not recognize that they just had puppies. So you will see sometimes with new mothers that when you go to put the puppies on them, they will show some kind of aggression. So during this onboarding process, I like to evaluate the mothers, see what they're like maternally, to see if they're going to snap at the moms. I'll let them smell the puppies, just so that way, you know, they recognize that this puppy belongs to this mom. And I want to make sure that she's sniffing the back area, just because I don't want her to potentially snap at the puppy's mouth if she does decide to get aggressive. So far so good. I don't see any issues with her being aggressive towards her puppies. She is curious though, but of course the maternal instinct, that's going to come and kick in when they start to build that bond as she starts to nurse them more and more. So we are going to just lay her down. Come here, mama. And I like to just lay them down on the side like this. And then some mamas, when they lay down for the first time right after surgery, they actually start like panicking and they are very anxious. So just lay her down, rub her stomach a little bit. This is also a good time to check her nipple areas and her C-section site to make sure everything looks great. And we'll go into another video on that, on how to identify issues after the C-section. But for this video, we're just gonna do the first latch. So I'm gonna take this puppy, I'm gonna let her see it. And then after that, I'm just gonna place the puppy right on the nipple. And I want the puppy to find the nipple on its own. Sometimes it needs a little bit help, so I will guide the puppy. And you see the puppy starting to latch and starting to suckle. And that is what I'm hoping for all the puppies will do. Sometimes these puppies, they are very tired when they do come out of the womb, so sometimes they will not suckle right away. So definitely get them suckling within the first 4 hours. Before you do suckle them though, watch my other video on things to identify before you put the puppies on to nurse. Because sometimes, as I mentioned in that other video, the puppies may still have fluid in there and you need to get that fluid out before they do their first latch. So we're gonna try the other puppies now. And I wanna make sure that I'm putting this boy on the back nipples, because as we saw in our first video of the onboarding, he was actually the smallest. So the reason why I'm putting him on the back ones first is so one, I know that he's nursing longer than the other puppies. And then for two, I know that he's getting more milk because he's sucking on the bigger teats versus going to the front ones that have less milk. So I'm gonna leave him on the back one. And then also, now I'm gonna put this one on here. So this is the other girl, and I wanna let her find the nipple. And she has no problem sucking. She's a power sucker right here. And then last but not least, we have this final girl. So one thing that I wanted to touch on is that, it's okay, mommy, it's okay. One thing I wanted to touch on is if the puppies have a very weak suckle reflex, what you can do is just make sure your hands are clean first, and you can wear gloves, but you want to test their suckle reflex. And to do that is you take your finger and you just simply put it in their mouth and rub the top of their mouth. You'll see that the puppy will start to suckle your finger. And when the puppy suckles the finger, you'll know that the suckle reflex is there. So now that I know that her suckle reflex is there, now she's going to suckle, and she should have no issue suckling because I know that she has a strong suckle reflex, and also that she's not going to have any issues. So I'm going to let her find the nipple here, and there she goes. Sometimes these puppies are a little tired, so just kind of play with them, make sure that these puppies, they all get rotated as far as their nipples go. Sometimes also they will fall off. So just keep an eye on them. Definitely sit in here with the puppies, sit in here with the mom. Make sure that they're actually sucking on the nipple, because like I said, sometimes they'll fall off like this one and they'll start suckling on the skin next to it. So just make sure that they're on the nipple. You don't want to have the puppies not sucking on the nipple, because they're actually going to be burning more energy as they suck on something that's not giving them energy. So with them constantly burning energy, they're actually going to lose weight. So that's another reason why it's important to make sure that the puppy's first suckling and first latch is important and it's good, so that way they are gaining weight as, you know, they're suckling on the nipple and getting that milk. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys learned something. Leave it in the comments and make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. I have more videos coming on the onboarding process, so stay tuned. Take care of your pups.